The following is a production of Learfield Sports.
The Badger Hockey Digest, presented by Charter Communications.
Welcome to the Badger Hockey Digest, brought to you by Charter Communications. The Wisconsin Badgers coming off a weekend split with the top-ranked team in the country, the Minnesota Golden Gophers. I'm the radio voice of the Badgers, Brian Posick, along with head coach Mike Eaves. And Mike, I tell you, the top-ranked team in the nation comes to town, and they're flying high, feeling good, just one loss in 10 games. And you played a very disciplined, well-systemed game on Friday to beat the Gophers 3-1, didn't you?
We did. It was probably our most complete game. We didn't give up very much at all in terms of scoring chances against, and everybody did their part. If we're going to be successful, we have to play, a unit of 5 has to play as one, and we did that for the most part on Friday night.
And a big second period where you scored 3 goals in different fashions, too.
Well, we were able to create some odd man rushes, some 2-on-1s and such, and we were able to take advantage of that, and that is what gave us the lead early. And then, the only thing that we really did was give up a late power play goal. By that time, the outcome of the game was pretty much in hand.
Yeah, and I tell you, too, your freshman goaltender, Joel Rumpel, was very good, not only Friday, but in Saturday's 4-1 loss.
It was the first time that we played Joel on a Friday night. His numbers and kind of a gut feeling from the coaching staff decided to give him the ball. And he wasn't tested very much on Friday. We felt like it might be a good time to get him in back-to-back games. And he was every bit as good on Saturday. He gave us a chance to be around. And if you take a look at it, it's 1-1 after 2 periods. We've got a chance to sweep the #1 team in the country. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, but we put a young team in a position to do that, and having that experience was invaluable.
Yeah, one of the themes of Wisconsin hockey this season, or one of the buzzwords, consistency. Yeah. You're looking for that still, not only from your team, but from individuals too, right?
Well, it's interesting. We're having some individual meetings with different players, and just meeting with Brendan Woods, and his father's assistant coach with the Washington Capitals. And we're talking about this concept of consistency. And even at that level, the coaches there are still talking about it. It's something that separates pros from amateurs, being able to bring it every night. But even at that level, they talk about it. They need to have it from their athletes in order to be successful. So coaches at all levels in all sports talk about that word consistency.
And Mike, that being said, you've beaten the top-ranked team in the country. You swept the 5th-ranked team in the country. There are some good things you're seeing from your young squad.
If somebody had said we would have done that here early in the season, we would definitely have taken it. And it's showing that we have glimpses of brilliance, if you want to call it that. And then we looked like a young team at other times. But having said that, doing what we've accomplished, beating those top-end teams, shows us what we're capable of doing, and we can build on that.
We saw great crowds, energized crowds at the Kohl Center last weekend. Next year, the Wisconsin hockey programs will have new digs. Let's take a look at the new practice and competition facility for the Badger men's and women's hockey teams, LaBahn Arena.
We're looking out into the bowl. As you can see, we're doing the long span trusses, and those will be going on. We're going to do half of them over, and then we'll be in the next 3 weeks, on the 28th and 29th, we'll be putting the precast up. Those 2 days, you'll see the precast, you'll see that back wall all the way across to the corner. By December, you're going to really see some of the more of the seat. You'll be able to kind of visualize the seating going up, and then you'll be able to see some of those back walls getting enclosed, so that when it does get really nice and cold, we're able to actually enclose this area and maybe throw some heat in so to keep going with the finishes. Right here is the main entrance for the locker room. So they'll come through there. There's 2 sliding glass door that they'll spread out. Right here is where they'll actually be able to throw their sticks up that they're using and come right in here. This wall right here will have some can lighting, has a soffit. This will have that zebra dog graphics, kind of the real cool stuff, either having the Hobie Baker Awards, NHL players, or stuff, of course, the program's already received. And this is the main locker room. We have the soffits here. This will be drywall soffits around. You have some can lighting here. Up here will be a drop ceiling with a Motion W LED light from a Motion W. And as you're going around the wall, as you see this ductwork coming down, this is where each individual locker will be. So basically, this HVAC will allow it to kind of breathe. So they'll bring air in and take air out to help that smell of the hockey players. I believe it's a total 3-month duration for the complete ice rink to be up and running. So they'll start in April. It'll be April, May, June. Hopefully by the end of June, they'll have everything completed, and then we'll start kind of our testing phase, and then kind of get really into the permanent testing, commissioning, so that October 1, we're ready to go for a game that day with the scoreboards and whatnot for all the systems.
Mike, we just got a glimpse of LaBahn Arena. The construction continues. This is going to be a great facility for your program and for Mark Johnson's women's program.
We have said since the beginning here that it would be the final jewel in the crown that we call our hockey program. And the recruiting world is very competitive. And we have a very nice facility 2.5 miles from here. But teams and schools will use that against you in terms of recruiting. Now they can't use it anymore. And for the administrators, they'll be able to sleep a lot better at nights because our kids aren't taking their mopeds in inclement weather to get out to the Coliseum. So having this facility right here, it's a one-stop shopping. And we've already been able to do some we've had official visits, and we've been able to take some of our recruits on hard hat tours, getting them down underneath and seeing the locker room and seeing what the rink is going to look like. It's very exciting. If you haven't done that yet, you should take a look at that.
Cannot wait.
Yes.
Cannot wait. The Badgers on the road this weekend at Colorado College. We'll preview that series when we come back on the Badger Hockey Digest.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. When we feel warm inside, flying team flags with pride, screaming football is here.
The NFL season. It's like Christmas for football fans. Let it all in with Charter. Sign up for Charter TV in HD starting at $29.99 a month for 12 months. Call 1-888-GET-CHARTER and ask how you can get NFL Network and NFL Red Zone today.
Mike Eaves takes his hockey Badgers to Colorado Springs, the World Arena, to take on Colorado College, one of the better teams in the country so far this season. Mike, they've got some very good talent. Jaden and Rylan Schwartz are very good. Their goaltending has been good for the most part. It's also the biggest rink in the WCHA. It's 200 by 100. It's got huge corners, but as I was told by a number of your players this week, the face-off dots and circles are in the same place as any other rink. Just keep them away from the middle. That's your game plan, right?
It is. When you play on a big sheet of ice like that, that's what you have to do. You don't want to get wandering outside those dots because then you're in no man's land and you can stay out there for a long time and get lost. But we played our last 3 games there last year. We played very well. And I know that was last year, but we have some guys coming back. And it's always a challenge to play there, but we enjoy that challenge. I think our kids revel in the challenges that we've had this year, and I know we'll have a lot of young guys there for the first time, but it's always fun to go out there and play, and they bring a good team to the ice surface, and it'll be a great weekend.
Yeah. Unfortunately, no TV for this weekend series between the Badgers and Colorado College. You can listen to the games on the Badgers Sports Radio Network if you'd like. Wisconsin returns to the Kohl Center next weekend to face Mercyhurst. Friday night's game starts at 7. Saturday's game will now start at 8 o'clock. You can get your tickets at uwbadgers.com or by calling 1-800-GO-BADGERS. Our thanks to Charter Communications for sponsoring the Badger Hockey Digest, and we'll be back next week.